Yeah. Lights, camera, action. Put the biscuits down, you're live. Yes, you are.
Just as I shove it in my face.
Well, you did tell me to press the live button. Oh my goodness. So now we've got to just kill some time while Jenny eats. Lovely. Hello, everyone. This is as much as you get to see of me because she's relegated me to behind the camera.
Best place for her. So
she says that if I come on the camera, I'll crack it.
Now, anyway, look, welcome to another Monday Club, and a big thank you to, gosh, we got George Botterini, and many thank you to you, donated $4.99 before you even started. Wow, says thanks Jenny, love these sessions, and that is amazingly generous of you.
Thank you so much.
And also, I'd like to put out a big thank you to Christopher Moss, who donated £10 on the paypal.me link. They did that a few days ago from last week's stream, but obviously after it was live. So I just want to put out a big thank you to them. That is very much appreciated. But we've got a good turnout. Yes,
Madame,
please.
Is this a good year for you?
It is, Diet Coke.
Excellent, yeah.
So we've got...
other beverages are available.
Today's topic, and also I should also point out today, the live stream, the Monday Club, is sponsored by All Mouse Media again, and we've managed to wrangle a special deal as well. If anybody's interested in the comic books that we mentioned that we weren't able to send out, we've had a chat with somebody in an office higher up, and they've gone, well, okay, we can sort something out. So there's a link in the description box below, and if you want to treat yourself to all three, and I'm going to find them down here. I say all three. There is actually a fourth one as well, but
we couldn't get that.
What we've actually been sent is a job lot of each of these. So what you have is books 1 and books 2 of the All Over the House webcomic collection, and then book 1. There isn't a book 2 yet, so it's the only one. Book 1 of the collected Life of Knobty Mouse, and this is actually the oldest UK webcomic.
It's the first webcomic from Britain.
Very much.
It's actually the 16th or 17th webcomic overall in the entire world out of thousands, depending on how you count webcomics.
Very much so. So anyway, you'll find a link down in the description box below, and I'm sure somebody will repost it in the chat. So if you want these, a special offer, there's a deal going on, and that's in association with today's Monday Club sponsor, All Mouse Media. And also, don't forget that, if I can find them as well, gosh, I get props to play with. We still have the 2 of my sci-fi books available as well, and I think there's is there a link or something for those? Or
allmousemedia.com/books.
Yeah, so they are also still available, and a big thank you to everybody who's been picking those up. But right, we've got Scottish Train Spotter, hi to you, Martin Hertz, Ham Shackleton.
Is that all the admin off? Are we going to get into the fun now?
Yes. Hot Hornby, says Ham Shackleton. Does that mean live stream is coming back, or just frying decoders? I'm really hoping that we don't pop any more decoders.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I can say I'm hoping. But got Leslie Gilpin, hi to you. DL Warren says, evening all, this is the earliest I've been to one of Jenny's live streams due to an appointment being cancelled. Oh, excellent. Big hello to David Cook, McBenman 1, Josh's Train Room, Southern Train Girl, Leslie Gilpin, hello, this is an automated bot.
Wow, 144 watching. Thank you all, guys.
Yeah.
Jenny does appreciate your support, and I'm sure that she's going to tell you that.
OS Reverse says, hi, Auntie Jenny and Zoe, so that's either Zach or Max. Big hello to you.
Ahoy, hoy.
James Akers says, evening all, been a while since I've been in the stream, been at work a lot, no worries. Mark Rice, hi to you. Bang got the junction, Carl Braun. Anfield Road layout in the loft. So, hello, this is an automated bot, says, I was just watching the Great Model Railway Challenge. Oh gosh, it's done an awful lot for the hobby, it has to be said. I know
got you out of my head. That was an enormous help for the hobby.
Yes, and actually, no. In terms of bringing new people, new fresh blood into the hobby, it's actually been remarkably successful. And there's a lot more people like it than hate it. I think there's a small hardcore that hate anything that oh, you're not taking the hobby seriously. But by and large, I think people really got that. And actually, it's interesting enough. I was down in Bedford on Friday. And funny enough, I got recognised off Biggest Little Railway by somebody in the middle of Bedford, which was very surreal, I have to say.
Well, the middle of Bedford is very surreal.
57305 Northern Princess, hi for you. Charlie Grinnell, and we've got so many people in. Norman Rowe, Elven Home, Engage Model Railway. DL Warren says, is there a blue theme with the rolling stock this evening? Very much. We're still on the... we're back to blue.
You know what she's like, guys. After 7 o'clock, she gets a little blue.
What? But there's also a blue steam locomotive here. And can you get up on the screen the thing which lets me see what's actually going on rather than what happened 6 minutes ago? So, yeah, I get a live feed now. Well, live from my point of view. Otherwise, it's weird because then I'm watching it on a delay at the same time that you're watching it, but then you don't see my reaction to watching it until another delay. It's like it's a big iteration going on. But yeah, we've got this is actually one of the hot new Hornby releases, and this is actually
if it's that hot, how can you touch it?
Is that a tumbleweed? But what I wanted to talk to you today is about some of the 2020 Hot Hornby releases. And I know a lot of people saying they're starting to receive their 00 dinkies. They're getting... I get told off, actually. What's wrong? What's wrong? What? Noswaith da. Tim... Noswaith da. Be there.
This is the point where Jenny pretends that she knows how to speak Welsh.
Never the when you have
Despite the fact that she lived in Wales, Jen speaks less Welsh than I do.
I know a lot of random words. Right, Matt Ovell says, happy Monday, everyone. You're twisting my melon, man. You get... Oh, come on, Cupboard Monkey. Didn't you get the joke?
Sorry?
We've got Matt Ovell says, happy Monday, everyone. And I said, oh, you're twisting my melon, man.
Oh, like I know these things. I'm not a music person. I listened to Guns N' Roses, Pink Floyd and Metallica until I met you, and then I stopped listening to music because you made it uncool by liking it.
Crossways Point Junction says, have you been busy with your blue paintbrush, Jenny? What, have I got blue paint on me somewhere?
Yeah, you probably have. You have been busy with a blue paintbrush, but we can't say why.
Yeah, basically I have been massively overworked today because I have been doing some building and filming as well for some upcoming stuff, which I'm not at liberty to disclose, but you should find out, I think on the 31st of this month is where the first of those projects breaks cover on the Hornby YouTube channel.
Yeah, she's been building a giant duck. And by giant duck, I might mean something else. And by building, I might mean something else.
Big hello to Combat Bunny who says, remember to hit that like button, very much so. And also, don't forget, share the stream. Let other people on the Book of Face, on Twitter, on Instagram, on whatever is your favoured social media interaction toolage. Don't forget to let everybody know that the Monday Club is live, dangerous, and everybody is welcome. We are
Since when has it been dangerous? Come on.
Well,
it's fun for all the family.
I don't know, you keep hurting yourself. But
that's only because I don't pay attention and fall over.
Timberserve, hi to you. Says, not a bot in the house. Impressed with the Coach Rake lens, Jenny. Thank you very much. There's a lot of Coach rolling stock going round. I think we're on load 11, load 10 on some of these trains. But what it actually does mean, part of the reason that I wanted this, is that I was just about to say.
Well,
there we go. They're coming into shot. What I was hoping is that basically every camera angle always has some element, of a train moving on, and then we cut to one that didn't. So we've got blue-grey Mark 1s on the outermost track, and then we've got again Mark 1s, but intercity, network southeast, and regional railways. And then we've got a parcels train, which is a real hodgepodge of different parcels traffic, which is actually just very prototypical. And then we've got the 16-ton mineral wagons going around. I think actually all bar the parcels train, pretty much exactly what was running last week. It's been so busy. But, right, let's just make sure. God, I'm so behind on these comments. James Hardy says, is that a new Hornby Princess? Yeah, it's part of the Hot 2020 releases. It is actually. I'm going to have to take my glasses off.
And she won't do what I kept telling her. Whenever you say hot Hornby, you're supposed to lick your finger and touch it and go tss. She wouldn't do it. She said that it was cliched and that I should stop talking.
Settle down, babies. So we've got a Princess Royal, and it's Princess Mary Louise, and it is TTS sound fitted. So if I turn that on,
that sounds a little bit like the roar of the Tyrannosaurus from Jurassic Park.
what this?
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from with that. But there we go. So it's in rail blue. In fact, I'm going to just pick it off the track. And I'm going to hold that up so you can see it. And it's one of the new ones that came out. Pretty much they announced these and then they came out very quickly. Finally, managed to get myself one of these. Big thanks goes out to Hornby, who sent this over for review. So it's going to be Wednesday's review, so I'm not going to show you too much, although they have been out on the market for a little while now. So I'm guessing quite a few of you have got one, but I'm going to be doing a full review of that. And the BR Experimental Blue, would you believe it, that it is the only, I'm just looking just to double check, yeah, it's the only locomotive I've got in the BR Experimental Blue. It's a livery I've been wanting for an awfully long time. Now, talking of blue things, and it's not Hornby, but I do have the Class 40 from Bachmann on order. In fact, they've taken the money for it, so I'm waiting on delivery of that. So they have reached the shops. You're gesturing.
When you finished your statement, I've got a question that's come up that's quite interesting.
Okay. So yes, the Class 40 from Bachmann. There's 3 different versions hitting these shores, and they do seem to be selling quite quickly. They're going in and out of stock, which normally means they get a batch, they get sold, and then they reorder. So at the moment, they are selling quite well. It's been a little while since Class 40s were available in the range. And also, I think it's TMC have also taken delivery of, I think it's Rail Blue, but with a D number. And that's their special commission. So that is also out there. And I think between Bachmann's main range and the TMC one, they've pretty much got all bases covered on the Class 40 liveries. But it's something that a lot of people have been putting money in on the Super Chat, the PayPal.me, and basically people do it. It's like a tip jar. It's like, you tip a busker if you think the music's any good, and some people do like to tip, and I'm forever grateful for that. But I said,
as we've always said, never feel like you have to.
Yeah, never feel obliged. And that's YouTube is free at the point of watching, and that's I like it that way. I don't like things being hidden behind paywalls. But anyway, so I've used all of the donations from the last few weeks, and they have gone towards a Bachmann Class 40, and boy are they expensive. Gosh, I seem to recall when they first came out they were only about £40, and they're now over 3, maybe even 4 times that.
My goodness. So we've got a question here from Naive Gauge. Does anyone have any advice on an N-gauge truck camera to film a train eye view of the layout?
Ooh,
an N-gauge truck
N-gauge.
camera. I'm thinking
you've got the little camera that we've got downstairs, but that's too big. See, N-gauge is quite difficult. Now
it's going to be a tricky one.
You can get cameras that small, but I think you're going to have to pay a lot of money for them. It'd be interesting if anybody wants to put in the comments cameras that you recommend that would be small enough to go on something like a flat wagon in N-gauge. I'm sure there's quite a few people who'd be interested in that. I suspect the answer is that yes, there are, but they're going to be expensive to get decent quality down in that size.
Decent quality is going to be the thing. I'm looking on Amazon, and there are tiny cameras.
Actually,
how
Haven
good they
Rail
are is a
as
different
well
thing.
says spy gear. That's the way to go. You know,
That's what I'm looking at here, spy cameras.
but I think you're going to pay a premium for that.
Okay, we've got here one. It's like 36 quid, and no one is saying how good it is.
Oh, interesting. oorail.com says ESP32 cam. Then also Andy 1962 on another tack. So still waiting delivery on my Hornby 00 Dinky models. Has anyone received theirs? Yeah, I think somebody said at the beginning of the stream that they've just received theirs direct from Hornby. I know that Rails of Sheffield put a post up a few days ago saying that they were imminent over the next few days. And certainly they do look really good, but I don't know if it's accessible.
What do you need?
I don't know where it's gone.
Mind where your hands go, my goodness.
Now, I don't know where it is. I actually got a genuine 00 Dinky toy up here somewhere. I'm not entirely sure which drawer it's stored in.
If it's one that's behind me, I'm not moving. I'll fall down this hole.
No. But yeah, they are imminent. The one that I really fancy is the VW van with the Hornby 00 on the side, because that is a like-for-like copy of one of the original 00 Dinky toys. They do look really nice, but it's. I think I might actually check out Bolton Model Mart, see whether he gets any of them in, because it's a bit expensive on postage if you just want a single 00 Dinky toy.
A lot of people are saying get a GoPro for a camera, but I'm thinking for an N gauge layout that would be too big. For a 00 gauge, perfect.
Yeah, it just about fits. And actually, Wardle Road is asking recommendations for a microphone to use with an iPhone. Well, the lapel mics that we've got are really good. Do you know what make they are?
Yeah, you know what? Tell you what, I can do better than that. I can put a link to Amazon for exactly which one we bought. Yeah, you can't shout into them. They will max out an iPhone because you can't adjust the volume. But for any other use, you're fine.
You've got to talk a little bit quietly.
You've got to talk, yeah. Which is a problem for Jen, because Jen, I'm having to train Jen to not shout.
Yeah.
Jen thinks you have to be loud so that the people who are far away can hear you, even though that actually you're transmitting.
Right, we're moving on now, Zoe. Big Sid says London Underground Backman 35-990 S-Stock 4-car train pack on eBay for 1,950. I've seen some ridiculous prices on these. I think I saw one go over 5,000. I don't know what's going on with these. That just seems to be an extortionate amount of money, and quite frankly, it's just not worth it at those kind of prices. So I know a lot of people have been saying, really, why are we not seeing a rerun of those from Backman? Maybe we will, but the prices have just got stupid. AD Pullin says, got the Austin K8 and the MG came the other day. These would be the 00 Dinkies. We're not actually allowed to call them 00 Dinkies because Dinky has been bought by Mattel, and either they wanted too much money or just outright said no. So they're 00 Diecast, I believe, is the official name for them, but everybody knows they're 00 Dinkies. But yeah, silly prices on those S-Class. Kingspan Cutting says SQ11 cam works well, but might be a bit big for N-gauge. Got mine on Amazon for 16 quid. Stuart Barnard says, hi Jen, who would you recommend to do a respray? I have a 421 SIG and want to do a respray into the Derby RTC livery for a push-pull set with my RTC Class 31. I don't know, to be honest. There are a few companies out there that do specialise in resprays, but I have no actual experience of any of them. So again, anybody in the chat room, if you've got particular respray companies that you can well recommend, do post some info about that. Right, big hello to Growler Blackwood N-Gauge layout, and let's have a look. Interesting. Leslie Gilpin says not all smartphones will record stereo with external mics.
No, they won't. But to a certain extent, that doesn't matter. If you're using a lapel mic, you don't want stereo because you're taking it from one source.
Yeah. Yeah, DL Warren saw one on eBay, the S stock again, for $5,500, and the seller had the cheek to charge for postage. I saw that one as well, and I thought, God, you know what? For that price, they could at least offer free postage. I do wonder whether some of them are getting shilled. It just seems really alarmist prices. Big hello to Japa Goosh. Big hello as well to Mike and Sue, Pudham Junction. Evening to you. Tim Condrup says, have you got the 57XX London Transport? Yeah, actually, I got one quite a while ago. So, where are you? My little London Transport.
While you're looking at that, I've got to read this out. Andy1962 says, love it when a manufacturer re-releases a model that has been going for ridiculous prices on eBay. Kick the scalpers where it hurts. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, they did that with the C-Class in the really ornate SECR livery.
Yeah.
And they are actually selling quite. I've noticed quite a few people getting them. I got sent one by Tim's Trains. Very generously sent one. And we did a review on that, compared it to the original as well, which I was lucky enough to be able to get.
And they came out very, very favourably, didn't they?
It did actually, yes. It's quite expensive, but the other one as well, Hornby did the W4 Peckett in their Huntley and Palmer's livery. But there's my London Transport pannier tank. But this is actually an older release. It's L90. So I think the current release is L92. Although, interestingly enough, I think that they had about 16 of them.
Are you going to run it so that all the fans of steam trains have a steamy weemy?
Somebody asked for that.
No.
Ben-Man1 asks, hi Jenny, what was the diesel in Biggest Little Railway? That was from Roundhouse as well. All the locomotives were from Roundhouse. I can't remember which one it is, but if you have a hunt through their catalogue, it is available. It's a little battery-powered thing. Right. I'm gonna take an executive decision. Right. Kingspan Cutting says TMC for a respray and renumbering. He did my LNER 2576 White Knight and was a top job. Clive Cobold, hi Jenny from a wet Northern Ireland. I have been working on a Northern Ireland Railways 80 class DEMU 3-car set being converted from 3 Lima Mark 2B TSO today. Excellent.
Got one here from Jonesy Time and Weir Transport. Hi Jenny and Monkey, how's yous both? Have you ever been to Tanfield Railway in County Durham?
I have. I don't know whether you have.
No, I just lived in Durham. I didn't use the railways an awful lot because I didn't need to. I got the bus.
No, it's a steam railway.
Well, definitely not then. I wouldn't have needed to.
I've actually delivered boiler tubes into there in a previous life. What?
Elven Home N-Gauge Model Railway says, I will send Gamehammer, that's me, a link to some footage from my adapted spy pen for an N-Gauge train cam. Can you just confirm the email address, please? Zoe@zoerobinson.com. I will put that into the chat now.
Don't forget to tickle the like button and also share the stream too. Really important. Let other people know that we're live and dangerous, but we will eventually get round to some more of the hot new Hornby releases. That's the box, by the way, for the Princess Royal. So just showing that up there. With the Princess Royal class TTS sound chip, which, as you heard before, has been fitted, but in the review we'll show you how it's fitted. But some of the other stuff that's coming through from the 2020 range. This is the XLMS CCT. It's a model that's been in the range for a couple of years now, but it really caught my eye. And with the RTC liveried, I think it's Laboratory 10, and the Landor breakdown coach in the RTC livery. There's a lot of stuff starting to trickle through. It used to be the case that we had to wait for Model Zone, as was, to commission these things. But I'm actually opening this for the first time. I thought I'd do live opening of hot new Hornby. Stop it. Hot new. Stop it. Hot. Hot new Hornby 2020 releases. So it's actually quite a nice livery.
That's
on this.
an interesting colour.
So I'm just going to take this out of the box. And when I saw this announced, this is one that, in all honesty, I thought I'm going to have one of them. That really does look nice. And they had them out in the BR and the LMS liveries, but never this kind of late livery. Now, I don't know where else on the network they survived late, as whether they survived as revenue earning. I'll be honest with you, actually, it looks a lot like the wagon that was in the James Bond film Octopussy. The one that he sort of like clings on to underneath, and it's got the nuclear bombing. But certainly that there is from the... let me just see if I can find a way of... Yeah, let's... Actually, I'm going to use the London Transport Pannier to hold on to that. So certainly going with all of the other RTC livery stuff that's been out, new and old. There's used to be one of the things that used to get bid up to huge, colossal prices on eBay was the the Model Zone Backman special commissions of the RTC coaches. They got a bit silly at one point. I know that Laboratory 14 was one that just went for stupid money. Lab 23 as well. I think Gougers used to buy them by the ton. Right, another one that's come through. You may have seen the three-plank wagon, the retooled three-plank wagon. And actually, I've got two of these. London and South Western Railway livery and Great Western Railway livery, ostensibly suitable for Era 2. And that's something that Great Western's one of those big minefields, because the Great Western Railway was the only one of the pre-grouping companies to persist into the grouping period, so effectively it absorbed other railway companies, whereas the others merged to form a new railway company. So we're going to open this up, and we're going to take a good close look at these. Now, I think that I've seen online a lot of criticism about these. Now, the model itself, I've actually put it down as being one of the better models on the market. Certainly, if you want to model the pre-grouping period. It's got a genuine wooden underframe. That's all very well, but by the 1920s, Great Western Railway had pretty much done away with wooden underframed wagons for their actual capital stock. That's not to say that wooden framed wagons weren't surviving in revenue use as private owner wagons, but certainly a lot of people have said that there are potentially issues. I think as well that they had like a red oxide livery rather than the chocolate brown, but certainly that's a very welcome wagon. I'm quite happy to add that to my collection. I will overlook some of its foibles and add that to my
see it on that screen.
Yeah,
that.
Well, let me move that. There you go.
There you go. Move your tutu.
Right, let's have a look and see what people are saying. Will you stop it? Japagouche says, I need some more London Brighton South Coast Railway engines, C2 and K classes preferably. Indeed. New Mills Model Railway, with all the stuff that's been going on, keep forgetting that there's exciting stuff being released. Actually, if anything, there's more coming out this year than I've ever known. They're
trying to keep everyone occupied.
Oh, well, they're trying to get all your money.
Well, it's not going on holidays, is it?
Hive Kent, hello to you. Viaduct Central Model Railway, hi to you. Andy 1962. Now I wish Hornby would make an Octopussy circus themed train. It'd be more likely to be something to come from Electra Tren, River Rossi, Juef. It's more of a like an Eastern European. Maybe Lilliput would be somebody to do that.
Remember that video we saw on the virtual exhibition, which was all circus themed train stuff?
Yeah, they were great.
That was amazing.
AD Pullen, the princess you got, I can highly recommend. Same with the new 61XX stunning runner. Yeah, actually, the Princess Royal, it's not actually on screen at the moment, but the Princess Royal is an amazing runner. It's a beautiful locomotive, and really, really pleased that Hornby has sent that over for review. So, big thank you to Hornby for giving me the opportunity to review that on behalf of you guys.
There it is.
Naive Gage says, I am spending my evening with Monday Club on the large screen and sat at my desk drilling extra holes in the connection tabs of my tortoise point motors. Square brackets, top tip, close square brackets. David Baker, talking about the cameras. Kingspan Cutting says, just measured my SQ11 camera. It's just under 23 mils cubed. Keith Murray, my model shot was told by Hornby, our 6986 Hornby wagon, 2020 centenary wagon, is not out. I have seen them on eBay and YouTube. Yeah.
Just because it's on eBay doesn't mean it's out.
Yeah. I think somebody somewhere there is misinforming you, because yeah, I've seen them about as well. So I'd go back to them all, buy it from a different shop if necessary. Right.
Seriously though, just because it's on eBay doesn't mean it's out. How many scalpers have bought stuff that's not out yet?
Yeah. Hive Kent says, what is the green hand on the stick for? That's the cupboard monkey.
It's for annoying Jenny.
Yeah, and
ostensibly it's for pointing at items that she's talking about, but isn't pointing at herself. But really, it's just to annoy Jenny. Why is there a red light in the back of that princess?
Oh, I didn't notice that. The Princess Royal, I really honestly didn't notice. It's got a flickering firebox effect. Oh my word.
Do we have to redo the review?
I haven't filmed it yet.
Jen, you're not supposed to spoil the magic.
That is actually... It sat there flickering away. That's quite nice. It seems everybody's getting onto the flickering firebox effect. Now, I don't know whether I can very carefully do this.
Do you want the reaction cam, the little mobile one?
Oh yeah, let's plug in the roving cam.
That's the one. I couldn't remember the name of it, so I called it a reaction cam.
Roving cam. You want to go and grab that cupboard monkey?
I don't want to, but I will.
Careful,
I'm going to lean over everything.
There's another cable in there. You don't want to knock that over everything.
Okay, I am careful pulling everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's that lapel mic we're on about.
Yeah, I keep one up here for filming. No way giving that to me.
I needed you to hold it while I got the other bits. This goes where?
The USB socket, the one that's not got.
Oh, like I don't know where that is.
You found it?
I hope so.
Right. If you want to bring that up, then I'm intrigued by this. We just spotted it, and it's like it has a lighting function. Oh, you're making everybody dizzy. So we can just see in there. There's the flickering firebox effect,
which, funnily enough, is not coming up too well on the roving cam. You can kind of see it. Do you want to hold it so that I'm not leaning right across you on the screen?
Yeah.
There you go. And see, even though I'm on screen, I wasn't cracking the camera. You lied to me.
So you can just about see it flickering. It's this camera doesn't like to focus close up.
That's rather nice.
Yeah, there is the Princess Royal, and there's the Great Western Wagon and the CCT. So keep that handy. Just put us back onto one of the other channels, and Right.
That's pretty cool.
Big hello to Benton Road. Hi to you. Let's have a look. Norman Rose, rude green thingy. Yes, absolutely right. That's what happens when you have a cupboard monkey in the house. Big hello to J94. Welcome back. Tim Condrip says, I'm getting the Class 57XX London Transport from Rail Sheffield. Can't wait. I'm so excited. It is a beautiful livery. They've done quite a few different ones. I know L91. This one's L90. I've seen L89. I think L94 as well. They're over. Would you stop it? Right, that's it, Cupboard Monkey. Not that's it. So they've come out. I know Kerno Model Centre have released them a number of times. Mine, which is L90, came from one of the London Transport sets with a brake fan and open wagon. How was it? Midnight Metropolitan. Right. Oh gosh, I'm well behind.
What a surprise! It's every week, Jen.
Yeah, Hythe Kent doesn't like the green thingy, so yeah.
Let's see if I can get a different angle today. How's this?
Yeah, Big
Sid. That's not really a good effect, is it?
No, it's not. Big Sid, you're absolutely right. On the green finger, it has ended up somewhere else. David Cook says, Jenny, you look like you have lost weight.
Yeah, well, I've found it.
No, I've actually put on a bit of weight, unfortunately. I've been struggling a bit with that. It's one of the things that happens when you hit middle age and you like food too much, so I am struggling. So it's nice of you to say, but you're totally wrong. Sam M says, Jennifer, sorry if you answered this question before. Have you found a DCC chip that fits in the Hornby rocket that allows the barrel to close properly? Yes, I have. The Train-O-Matic wired, so it's one that's gone like a wiring loom with the little 6-pin plug at the end, but the mini form factor DCC decoder fits perfectly. In fact, Cupboard Monkey, somewhere
which one would you like?
Up there. Yeah, pass me that one. Let me just.
That's an 8-pin.
No. Yeah, that's right. There should be a small. Yeah, pass me that.
7-wire 6-pin.
What's actually on the packet, isn't it? Yeah. So this is the one. So let me just take this out so I can kind of show you. In fact, yes, roving cam me. So I think, yeah, that is actually the right catalogue number. So.
Oh, travel sickness.
So, can't really focus.
It's not going to focus that close. You have to pull out a little bit.
So this is the decoder, and
it's tiny.
For a sense of scale, let's move it over, and it's compared to the crest on there. You can see how big it is. But this is a mini decoder, and it's on that 6-pin connector at the end. Now,
that's a bit bigger than what you would expect for N-gauge, isn't it?
They're actually intended for N-gauge. Right, put us back on the different camera.
Okay.
And they are, it's called the W6P Micro 7 wires plus 6 pins. And that's from Train-O-Matic. So if you check them out, that does fit. Now, it is a bit of a tight fit, but it does fit. I have tried that on the rocket, and it absolutely does work.
I'm just looking for new angles that we haven't seen before.
AD Pullen says, yes, it's Firebox Glow, even on DC. I'm actually very impressed with that. Hello, this is an automated bot, asks, would you review the 009 Linton and Barnstable? If Helgen were to send one over, then yes, definitely would. It's not one that I would go out of my way to actually purchase at the present time, because I don't have an 009 layout. But let's have a look.
Nope, that's not working at all.
Right.
Looking for new angles.
J94 says, the way things are going, it sounds like the Firebox Glow from the 70s and 80s are making a comeback. Yeah, I think it's the DCC functions is what's driving that. Right. Hythe Kent asks, what would the population recommend for someone who has not yet bought their DCC controller? I'm returning to Railways in September after a gap of 55 years. I currently use the Gauge Master Prodigy Express, but a lot of people do say, yeah, not that. So NCE Power Cap seems to get highly recommended, but certainly be interested to find out what some of you guys have experience of for DCC controllers.
I was impressed by the range of stuff that DCC Concepts had for their DCC system. Do they not have a controller? Or is it just the switch boxes and things like
I
that?
think they possibly do.
Maybe an integrated system like that.
Rayworth Park, big hello to you. I got the Hattons Class 66 Cemex Express delivered last week about 3 months earlier than expected. Model rail items getting delivered early rather than late is actually quite unusual.
That's a sign of the apocalypse, isn't it?
James Hardy says, wish Hornby would make Turbomotive and it rebuilt form from Princess Anne. It wasn't that. No, it's GT3 that's been announced. Fell has been announced as well. Always used to be the big joke, like, oh, but when are they doing a Fell? And then actually, that has been announced. The problem with the Turbomotive, it was very short-lived, so maybe it will come eventually. I'm going to put this DCC decoder away so you can hang this back up. But yeah, the W6P Micro 7-wire 6-pin is the one for the rocket. So can I...
Yeah, I'll put that back up.
The other one that's in there is a Next 18 decoder, if anybody's wondering what the other decoder was.
This isn't going to work, is it?
I
was hoping to have a little bit of space so I could put my laptop out and actually type in the chat to people, but I don't think it's going to work.
Andy 1962 says, I do like the retro firebox flicker combined with TTS sound. Hope Hornby think about some of the classic Triumph Hornby range. For example, the Giraffe Wagon, great fun for kids of all ages.
You want that so much, Jen. You do.
Yeah. And James Hardy, absolutely right. Sadly, the Princess Anne only lasted a couple of months. Hello, this is an automated bot. Jenny and Zoe, you are an inspiration to all. Your creativity is limitless and Cupboard Monkey is hilarious. And Jenny is not fake like some YouTubers. Nowadays, I finally understand the humour. Oh, thank you very much. Brilliant.
Thank you. Well, we do try to be funny because at the end of the day, if you can't laugh with each other, then you're taking everything too serious. And that's kind of why I'm here, to try and ground Jenny a bit.
Right.
Although, to be honest with you, the main reason I'm here is because Jen can't operate machinery. So computers, anything more advanced than an abacus, and Jen can't do it. I have to be here for technical support.
Ham Shackleton asks, if you cut the plug off a wired decoder, does it void the guarantee? I'm not sure. I've not had a problem when I've had decoders pop, even though they've been hardwired. If it's something that the fault can't be traced to something that I've done, actually Trainomatic have been very, very good and honoured the guarantee on stuff that was even hardwired that popped for no discernible reason. So I don't know. I would say yes if the fault wasn't your fault and wasn't related to how you've hardwired it.
Simon Trains MRS has a very, very good and pertinent point.
Okay.
No Gronks this evening.
Oh, Gronkfest. Yeah, we said that's what we said we were going to do this week.
We would have a Gronkfest. We need a Gronkfest. We need lots of Gronks.
Maybe next week. The problem that we've got is that essentially I have been on the go since this time last week without any day off. And today I haven't even had a chance to change anything. Excuse me, that's up here.
You had 5 minutes between finishing the project you're working on and starting this live stream.
Yeah.
It's no wonder you've been ill.
It's one of the reasons that I got shingles, because I got really run down. What have people said?
Norman Rose says, oh, I see, Zoe's the comic relief. I'm sorry. Did people not... I prod Jen with a green finger. I'm not meant to be taken seriously here. No. I'm just here as like... You know on radio shows where the producer occasionally joins in with a bit of banter? That's basically my job. I'm Rose from Frasier.
Yeah, what do they call it? The one that's like the sidekick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're my sidekick.
Sadly, yes.
You know that if you came to model railway exhibitions with me, people would be like, "Oh, it's Cupboard Monkey."
You know that if I came to model railway exhibitions with you, I'd be bored to tears. Because I'm sorry, guys, but I'd help Jen with this because I'm a filmmaker. I do the camera work, I do the editing on all of her videos, I do the audio stuff. I'm not really into the trains. It just happens that Jen is, so that's why we started her show. So that she could talk about the things that interested her, and I could get a bit more practice with the stuff that interested me.
Apparently, your naive Gage says, quite naively, ironically, I always thought Zoe was the straight guy and Jenny the funny guy.
Well, Jenny is hilarious, but mostly just to look at.
Big hello to John PW22. Incidentally, I've skipped through to the newest comments that are coming in because I'm well behind. So if you've asked a question and I haven't answered it, I'm not ignoring you. It's just simply not got round to reading it, so just ask it again. Also, as I always say, I don't mind you plugging your own YouTube channel. Don't spam the comments. If you spam the comments, you will get probably slapped by one of the moderators. But certainly, I'm not against people plugging their YouTube channels. I understand how difficult it can be to build an audience and get
Well, it was
noticed.
like 8 or 9 years before you started getting any traction. So we don't want people to get the feeling that they can't get a bit of a chance to shine.
I'm a firm believer that you shouldn't pull the ladder up after yourself.
Absolutely.
Right. Tony Wright says this is going back to the DCC controller. Says I use a
You've
5
eaten all the
amp.
good biscuits.
I know.
We've got a bag of assorted chocolate broken biscuits, and Jen's picked out all the nice ones and left me with like rich tea.
The Cupboard Monkey got into the bag first and stripped it bare of the really nice ones.
Don't annoy people and confuse them with truth.
Anyway, somebody shout. I just heard a shouting noise.
I didn't.
You got your phone?
No.
Oh. Right. Right.
I'll go and check.
T's Cottage Guy says, "Hi Jenny, my new Hornby Stevenson's rocket is rubbish. It's practically broken. I know that they are quite fragile, so you do have to be quite careful." Yeah, I can hear shouting outside.
I'll go and have a look.
Roger Gregory, I know it's not model railway, but how many times has Zoe been on the Question Time after show?
5, I think.
5 times apparently. So if you recognise her voice, then that's the Radio 5 Live Question Time Extra Time. She's one of the people on the panel quite often. Ben Tullett says, "After watching this stream tonight, I am going to be opening a package from Rails of Sheffield." Oh, it's just jumped. Well, I'm watching opening a package from Rails of Sheffield with some special road vehicles from Hornby. Will they be the double O Dinkies by any chance? Fat Wallet Boy 2, great supporting Jen, even though you, Zoe, is not into trains. Roger Hunter, hi to you. Let's have a look. What else have we got? Gary Lewis says, "On DCC controllers, I have a Gauge Master Prodigy Squared and the loft layout and an NCE power cab for the small portable layout." Yeah, Ham Ham Shackleton. "If Jenny has been on the go all week, she needs to change her diet." Jeff Hammond, "Flint Hills Engage, yes please, would love a shout out. Just posted my second video." So that's Jeff Hammond, Flint Hills Engage. Naive Gage, "Can I plug my YouTube channel? Watch me making modelling mistakes so you don't have to." That's Naive Gage, no worries. New Mills Model Railway DCC controllers. "I've got the Gauge Master Express on pre-order, something a bit better than my Select. Should do the job for my layout anyways." Gary Lewis says, "You are the new Morecambe and Wise, Cannon and Ball, 2 Ronnies."
2 Wallies, was that?
Yeah, that's us. Stretch Edit says, I have an NCE power cab and added a USB adapter so I can link the laptop to the layout. That's actually a really good idea.
Oh, that is a good idea.
Then use JMRI Decoder Pro to program my decoders. What was going on outside?
A bunch of kids playing football.
Ah, right. Skipsy Trains, good evening everyone. The current layout is being operated using the GaugeMaster Prodigy Advance with the Wi-Fi box. The boys love the idea of operating trains with a mobile phone or iPad. I must admit, I have tried that at an exhibition and it is really good.
You always like the idea of a Wi-Fi box.
John Nutman says, don't forget to put a like on Jenny's Monday Club. Absolutely. John PW22, I like colour light signals that change when trains pass and give a clue about whether a train is due. On the railways at least, do you have a view that shows your colour signals working? They're all facing the other way.
Use the roving cam.
I could only do it on the roving cam, I guess. I'm just going to quickly check something, because...
check yourself before you wreck yourself.
No, I just want to... I have to re-log into PayPal. I want to make sure that if somebody's donated through the PayPal.me link, which they haven't, so it doesn't really matter.
That's okay. But you have
I
to
always
check.
like to make sure that people are thanked. Thank you, Flymo Chairman 1, for posting that link. Let's have a look. Christopher Madden says, hi Jenny, have you got a BR standard 8F? No, I haven't. It is on my my hit list of locos I do want to get. Tony Wright says, I run up to 9 locomotives with my NCE power cab. Definitely, I mean, that's the thing about DCC, is that you'll probably run out of tracks to run trains on before you run out of the ability to run them. So up here, I think it's something like 20 locos I could theoretically run at the same time. So even if you triple-headed on every track and had stuff shuffling around the sidings, you'd be very, very hard-pressed to actually max out this layout. DL Warren says, I have uploaded a few videos on my layout, basically how not to build a layout. Oh, no, don't do yourself down. Hopefully getting some more points this week so I can sort my sidings out after getting my controller back. Stretch Edit says, the NCE USB adapter is only about £40. I like how adaptable the NCE system is. I must admit, Ken Patterson in the US does recommend the NCE power cab. So if it's good enough for Ken and the Watson...
Now we can keep an eye on your railway.
What on earth is that? What the... You have to like... Oh, I see.
I got it as a prop for a Halloween video I did a few years back.
Not a happy chappy. Its balance is way off.
Oh yeah.
Right, John PW22 says, whoa, nice long parcels train. Langton Road has no shorts tonight. Jenny, have you added those bus suppressors? I have to say I haven't yet.
You haven't had a minute. All these projects.
I work full time with 2 different jobs. One of them is media related, and the other is in logistics, which is my day job. And I'll be honest, I simply haven't had much time. I'm on deadline for some other project. But we've got 250
yeah, that's what we've been
people
talking about, to keep an eye on our railway.
But we've got 250 people in the chat room. Don't forget to tickle... No, don't. It'll hit things. Don't forget to tickle that like button. And also, very importantly, share the stream. Let other people know that the Monday Club is up and running and that all are welcome. Richard Swiderski says, aye. Scottish Train Spotter says, an aye. Brian Sims says, hi Jen, good news. Got my 101 green coach on a well-known website. Will arrive Thursday, Friday. Excellent. Andy 1962 says, Zoe keeping her eye on you. Crossways Point Junction, good evening. Bolton Model Rail Society.
Hello.
Definitely, it's great. We've got the Bolton Model Railway Society in. Good evening, Jenny, they say. Hope you're well. Just letting everyone know that we are having open days on the 1st, 15th and 29th of August, in which people can see the War of the Worlds layout running and trains running on Wi-Fi.
Excellent.
What
That
days-
sounds good.
Yeah, what days of the week are those?
The first, like the end of this week, isn't it?
I don't know. But yeah, brilliant. So don't forget as well that there's some really great layouts down there. Mike and Sue Pudham Junction say, no, just wondering, is there a collective noun for a group of model train enthusiasts?
Station. A station of model train enthusiasts. A Hornby of model train enthusiasts.
Flymo Chairman won absolutely right. Do bash that like. Arthur Humphreys, hi to you. Oh, Chris Gal 1959 says, why I?
Why I, man?
Canny lass. Stretch Edit says, Shames really makes programming decoder so easy, especially dealing with CVs. I think it's talking about a particular power system. David Baker says the first is a Saturday. I'm going to be at work.
Yeah.
First is a Saturday. James Moody says it's clearly an anorak of enthusiasts. Naive Gauge also says collective noun is an anorak. Peter Leyland. Again,
I thought
this
that was
tallies-
train spotters. Because they wear the anoraks so they don't get wet, but model railways would be inside. So maybe a warm and cosy of model railway enthusiasts.
Peter Leyland says one of my clients on his Peterborough North layout NCE cab is the best he's ever used. And it's like I said, Ken Patterson swears by NCE. He's actually sponsored by them.
A cardigan of model railway enthusiasts.
No,
Because it will keep you nice and warm and cosy.
so I think we've got Cottesmore. I've missed any comments from Cottesmore, but certainly somebody's posted. Let's have a look. Cottesmore, you are wise, and yes I will, but it's interesting here in one post what people use for DCC control. I've not actually spotted the comment from Cottesmore. They're like going shwee, shwee.
And that's the problem. Is we should show the roving cam to your comment section sometimes. Like, ooh.
Yeah. James Moody says, try going to an exhibition. Still plenty of anoraks. Yes, especially on a really hot day. The anorak zipped up to keep that heat and moisture and fermenting.
Well, how else are you going to get the stench?
Right,
There's a contest at the end of these conventions,
come on.
you know.
Settle down, babies. Another of the new hot Hornby releases. Again, London and South Western Railway 3-plank open. So I haven't actually opened this. I've had these. They arrived from the retailer I bought them from. It's actually Rails to Sheffield. About a week ago. In fact, no, they landed here, I think, on the last Tuesday. So nearly a week. Oh, come on, open up. Come on. But these, if you remember back to when we did the Hornby new announcements video, and you remember how joyous I was, this was one of the ones that caught my eye. So, London and South Western Railway Engineers Department, number 316, and immediately on online, a lot of people were saying, actually, the London and South Western Railway, their engineers department wagon fleet were all painted in red oxide. So I don't know what to make of this kind of dark chocolate brown. It's actually, if I go back to that Great Western liveried wagon, they're not quite the same.
I take it red oxide doesn't go brown when it's aged?
No, it would lighten. Things lighten with age.
Plus they do because of the sun bleaching.
But certainly, I'll be honest with you, in this day and age, pre-grouping wagons are so hard to come by that I'll take whatever I can get. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, it's got a proper works plate. London and South Western Railway Company. Number 10124 it says. I'm curious actually, what does the Great Western one? Oh no, it doesn't. But certainly that is one of the other wagons that I've been really looking forward to. So we've also got going around the 2020 range, not the leading wagon, but the second wagon in the upper level train. So just seeing it passing behind the comments. That second wagon is again from the 2020 range, the MSV Stone Tippler. So yeah, so we've been through. Let me just put them back up there because I need them for the review. So there's some of the hot new releases that are coming through. They're coming through thick and fast. So we've had the 3 plank wagons. There's some of the other private owner wagons, which I don't have, but I know a few people were waiting for them. They've come through. 00 Dinky Toys are starting to come through. So it's all go. And also we're imminently waiting for that Duchess of Atholl. And my bank account is going to take one heck of a hit, because I think that's £223. Yeah, the cupboard monkey knows what I'm spending.
It makes me feel better for wanting to spend 50 quid on an old computer.
Tim Condra, this is actually an interesting question, because I know that James May puts them straight in the bin. Tim Condra, what do you do with empty boxes?
Well, you stack them any way you can.
I always keep them, because when I was growing up, my childhood train set was Hornby 00. And my father said to me, the boxes are often worth more than the contents. And certainly the Hornby 00, absolutely right. So they're all in plastic crates, very carefully, like Tetris style, fitted in, and they're stored underneath the layout. As to what I'll do when I run out of space, I don't know. Ask me when I run out of space. But I do keep all of the boxes. So you will see I put everything back inside the box, nice and neat, and then these get put into storage.
Actually, we can show them.
So
where's the roving cone?
I think it's Control Shift Q.
Ah.
So you see down there, there's some of the boxes that are in storage. Move that left, and loads more boxes, and they just go round. And if you move it up, you can just about make out the underside there where you've got the fiddle yard.
It's been a while since you showed the fiddle yard.
Yeah, behind you now as well at low level. So we go around, and you can see at the back there, pushed right to the back, plastic crates piled high with boxes. So I keep every single box. J94 says, okay, who's left their eye on the layout? That is the cupboard monkey.
It's keeping an eye on proceedings.
Yeah, oh, I like this comment. Stephen Cameron says, some swear by DCC, others swear at it. That's actually true. Paul Higgins says, how many local model shops are open near you, Jenny? We're actually quite lucky in this area. We've got Bolton Model Mart.
You've got to remember, you're practically living next to a city.
Yeah, Bolton Model Mart down in Bolton. We've got the Loco Shed in Whitefield. Arcadia Models over in Shaw. We did used to have 2 model zones actually. One in the Trafford Centre, one in the centre of Manchester. They've unfortunately gone. We used to have Farmworth Model Centre. That has gone as well.
That one was quite unfortunate though.
Yeah, and there's a Holton Model Centre again. That one's gone. There is one in Lee. I've never been to it. I must do that. So there are actually quite a few around here. Right. Rob Arnold says, I use a Signatrack Ace 2 controller. It's very easy to use for a beginner, complete with colour touchscreen and 5 amp power output. That actually sounds pretty good. Not one I'm familiar with. Dean Fielding says, hi Jenny, great show. New to model trains, but managed to build my layout during lockdown. And it's great in many respects. Lockdown, hobbies and creative hobbies, model rail building in particular, has been a great way that we've all managed to keep sane through this lockdown. So it's absolutely great that you've been able to build up the layout over the lockdown. I think a lot of people have been putting in some quality time on their layouts.
That's like in the art community. I'm part of the art community, and we were looking at Twitter accounts. And some of the big art Twitter accounts were saying, everyone who's been collecting all of those special supplies, now's the time.
Where's the TARDIS? Somebody said they can see the TARDIS. Where is the cupboard monkey?
The TARDIS has moved.
Yeah, where to? Ah. Somebody said they could see the TARDIS and I couldn't see it. James Pett says, I put my spare boxes in the attic. Yeah, I mean, technically we're up in the attic.
Yeah, you put your spare boxes in the attic and then you put your entire railway in the attic.
Yeah, I actually built the railway around the empty boxes.
That's one way to do it, I suppose.
Well, no, I was storing a lot of the empty boxes up here. It's about all that was up here.
My Mac box and graphics tablet boxes were up here somewhere. You shoved them in a corner and then built a train station on top.
Stretch Edit says, yeah, always save your boxes in case you sell on your railway stuff later. It won't be worth as much without a box. Yeah, and that comes back to what my father always used to say. The box is often worth more than the contents. And what he actually meant by that was if you sold an item in its box, it would get far more money than if you just sold the item on its own.
That's true of so many things. Like a DVD, it's worth more in the box.
Yeah, Brayworth Park says, yeah, I keep all the boxes too. Andy 1962 says, your dad was absolutely right, Jenny. Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, certainly some of the older toys and models, having the box is actually quite unusual, especially, you know, the days of Hornby and Hornby 00. But also, if you remember the almost throwaway Matchbox cars, how many people actually still have the boxes? They were quite flimsy boxes that they came in. And somewhere I do have a Matchbox car that I remember buying as a child, and I just left it in the box for some reason. So the model is mint. It's a Jaguar XJ6, I think it is, in British Racing Green. And it's pristine, and even the wheels are completely smooth and shiny because they've never been scuffed along the floor. Scottish Train Spotter says, there's the TARDIS. Yep, it's currently in the shot. And Leslie Gilpin says, a lot easier with N-scale to save the jewel cases that stock and locos come in.
I really like the N-scale jewel cases. They're great.
very hard wearing.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about the use of plastics all the time, but they're very hard wearing. For something that's actually quite expensive, I can see that being a good thing.
Ben Tullett says, I keep the boxes for everything, including the boxes for the Oxford die-cast cars. That's one area where I don't keep those, I have to say, because they're all just plastic. But certainly everything else. DL Warren says, I've kept as many as I can, but some stuff didn't come with boxes, so I have aftermarket boxes for my collection. I don't plan on ever selling any of my collection. I know what you mean. I don't plan on selling anything, but it's instilled into me by my father to keep the boxes. It's worth
making sure that you could if you needed to.
Yeah, and also, I mean, nobody lives forever, so at some point...
You take that back.
What?
I plan to live forever. At the first opportunity, I am uploading my brain into a robotic body.
Yeah, and McBenman1 says, keeping the boxes are extra useful when you have to transport them to exhibitions. Yeah, it can be. Flymo Chairman 1 says, I saw a Hornby or Triang box sell for £3,500 back in 2006.
Wow.
Then the financial crash happened.
Yeah, the big crash. To be honest with you, I think an awful lot of people had an awful lot of money that they didn't need back then. And that was the problem. Yeah,
Stephen Cameron says, it's tidier than my trade room, Jenny. Mine is a shambles. I'm afraid I'm a little bit of a neat freak.
And let's face it, they can't see what's on the floor in here.
It's messy at the moment because I'm doing a project downstairs, so I've been taking stuff in and out, and also the cupboard monkey's been through.
If you could see what was on the floor, just below where the camera for Jen is, you would be amazed at the amount of mess. Where? She keeps the surfaces you can see on the cameras tidy.
It's not entirely true. This mess down here is what you've put here.
No, that bottle of Southern Comfort's yours.
Right, what was I going to say? So
you were probably going to say how great all the people are. I'm choking on my own words. How great all the people are for watching the video and joining in.
And I'm always feeling really humbled that you guys choose to spend your Monday evening here on the Monday Club. It's always great to have you all along. But let's have a look. And also the other thing as well, actually, what you've got to remember as well, is if I just shoved boxes underneath without having some kind of sense of order to them, I'd get a fraction of the amount of stuff in here that
is true.
Here. So tidiness does actually give you more space. Philip Page says it's Sawyer's in Lee. Yes, Sawyer's models. Thank you very much for that, definitely. I do mean
like the capsule. Sawyer's capsule.
No, Sawyer's, as in Tom Sawyer.
Oh, alright. I prefer Sawyer's as in the capsule for coming back from the moon.
Jammy Dodger, the gamer, says Jim at the Loco Shed is an amazing shop and he is lovely. Very much, there's some great model shops out there. I know Tim at Arcadia in Shaw as well is really, really great. Philip Page says new model shop opening soon in Hindley Green. Oh, interesting. I didn't know about that. Kingspan Cutting says, I keep the boxes, but use the Modeller's Mecha stock boxes to store rolling stock when not running, as I don't have a fiddle yard. I've got lots of drawers, wooden drawers, which I think that one's empty, so I can show you this.
All homemade?
Yeah, by my father. Even got the lovely handle cut out at the front, like a smiley face. But these are very, very old
and painted in that weird green that seemed to be all around in the 50s and 60s.
No, the reason for the green is that was the colour of the baseboards. It was 3-rail layout.
Right.
So we just painted the world with just green. So all of the ancillary...
He's setting off the white balance on your picture.
Am I? Yeah, sweet me. So I've got a lot of stuff stored in things like those. Right. Bolton Model Mart is definitely still open, definitely. Ham Shackleton says TARDIS has moved in the last few minutes. It was on the flat wagon.
It was. The Doctor gets around, you know? He's busy, man.
Robert Ward says, I store all my boxes in those plastic, really useful boxes. Now, one thing I would recommend is I've bought them in Asda, I've bought them in Tesco, and I've bought them in B&Q as well. It's the same basic design, maybe different colours, but the fold-away collapsible crates are perfect for rolling stock because they are essentially made for these. 2 of these is the exact right width, and then as you stack them along the bottom of the box, they fill it perfectly. There is no empty space in those foldable crates. So I recommend check them out. I know Asda sell them, Tesco sell them, B&Q sell them. Do check them out. They are perfect for putting boxes in. James Moody says, top tip though, pay attention to which box you put the model back in. Doesn't fetch so much if you mismatch them when selling. Very much so.
That is true, yeah.
Stephen Cameron says, 2 things have kept me sane. One is the layout, the other is the YouTube community. Yeah, definitely. The YouTube community has done really well to get everybody through this lockdown period.
Yeah,
so,
you guys all pulled together and just went at it.
Yeah.
Making sure that people didn't feel lonely, that there was always something going on. I think that should be applauded.
Robert Woodhouse says, got my Garrett up and running, well happy with it. Even my friend that are not into railway are impressing it very much. The Garretts are really great. And a big thank you, of course, to Garthian, who donated the money on Super Chat actually for that. So a big thank you.
Still can't believe that. Like,
yeah.
My goodness.
Matt Ovell says, I keep the trains in their boxes, wish I had space to keep them separate, have to be very careful taking them out. Bolton Model Railway Society says, yes, Flymote's still open. If anyone can, please visit and do as like many, he will be struggling. Yeah, very much. And have been plugging Bolton Model Mart a lot recently. Phil is a great guy, and it's a great range of stuff in there. And actually, I've been telling a lot of people in the Bolton area about the model shop, not just railway modelers, but anybody's after bits and pieces like balsa wood, Plastruct, and also Humbrol paints as well. And he has a very extensive range of plastic kits and Oxford die-cast as well. Got a huge array of those on display. And he also tends to have some of the items that you might find that are sold out elsewhere. It's always worth giving Phil a call, because especially for things like Oxford die-cast, you may actually still have exactly what you're after tucked away in the back of a cupboard somewhere. Right. John PW22 says, I acquired a collection where the previous owner had chucked all his boxes and many locos and wagons. Really lost value doing that. Very much. I knew a guy, Gordon Scott, funnily enough, the same guy that it turned out Steve Flint, as in editor of Railway Modeller Steve Flint, also knew him back in the day. Small world. But he had a huge collection of absolutely pristine Hornby O-gauge, and he threw away all the boxes. But he was throwing them away in the 1970s and 1980s, as in actually at the point where they'd actually started to appreciate in value. And apparently one of his neighbours spotted that his bin was just full of all these boxes crushed down. I went, what on earth are you doing? Do you not understand that those boxes are worth a fortune? But by then it was too late. They'd all been destroyed. And you're talking about he had some of the really, really rare and expensive stuff. I'm trying to think. There was a schools class that Hornby gated. Is it Princess Elizabeth, something like that? All of these really rare locomotives. He had them all pristine in the box, and the boxes were pristine. He just threw them all away.
Some people you can't help.
Yeah, some people you just can't reach. Paul Blanchard says, "Hi Jenny and Zoe, how big is your layout? I'm guessing 18 feet by 10 feet maybe, just to give me an idea of what I can fit in myself when I rebuild eventually."
It's about 18 feet, isn't it?
It's about 18 feet by, I'm going to say 18 feet by 12 feet. Slightly bigger than, but not by that much. But yeah, it's double decked as well, so there's a huge fiddle yard underneath for approximately half of the entire board space. So there's a lot of space up here, but I've still run out of space. Right. Andy 1962 loved Matchbox cars and trucks. Great early 60s memories of my grandpa buying me them. The excitement of looking at the 75 models display case and the agony of having to only pick one model. I know exactly where you're coming from with that. Right, I'm going to have to Tim Cundrup says, where is Kelly Ashford today? That's a good point. Actually, not seen Kelly Ashford for a little while actually. There's a few people that I've not seen in a little while, so I'm guessing maybe they're watching on catch up for whatever reason. But certainly a lot of people who have been furloughed from work are now starting to go back, so I'm guessing that it's one of the reasons that we're not getting quite as many people through as we were doing. Naive Gage says, we do not just choose to spend Monday evenings with you, Jenny, we also choose to spend it with each other. Very much so, very much. Let's have a look. James Pett says, I use the really useful boxes with 10 Commandments foam. Good for storage and transport, very much. J94 asks, is that an intercity livery class 37 near the two blue brake vans, Jenny? Yes, it is. That is a Bachmann class 37 stroke 4 in Bully Day. I know Cottesmore has just been showing off pictures of it. He's got one. I've got one as well. David Baker says Argos are doing those crates. 3 for £9 at present. Yeah, they're great crates. Ham Shackleton does say, be careful about putting plastic boxes into plastic boxes for long-term storage. You can get a chemical reaction that turns into a sticky mess. I've known that happen to foam. Do be careful. Flymo Chairman says that there are Aylesford apparently. Right, no worries. Let's have a look. Right. You're laughing away. What have you found?
Ben Tollett says Kelly is recovering as she suggested a diesel locomotive on Sam's train stream yesterday.
Did she? Yeah, Kelly likes her steam. So just for Kelly, if she watches this on the catch up, the Tyrannosaurus Rex in Jurassic Park. It does actually move.
You do love your choo-choos.
Yeah. Quite engaged driving this with sound. Somewhere this flange squeal. There it is. Right, anyway, enough of that. Enough of me playing with that.
You love it.
But that's for Kelly Ashford when you watch this on catch up, just for you. Right, anyway. I'm going to... I'm going to skip to the most recent ones. Let's have a look. Hello to Wardle Road. Yeah, all right. There I'm. Welcome back. McBenman1 says, "Hi Jenny, I'm thinking of making a hill on my railway. Do you have any advice?" Actually, PVA J-cloth. PVA J-cloth. Alan did recommend it. It's a great method, actually. Well recommend it. Use stuff like, if you've got offcuts of foam, things like polystyrene is okay. Don't use too much. It can become a fire risk. But also jab light is quite good. But PVA and J-cloth over the top is pretty good. A little layer of filler over that just to seal it all in. Put some brown poster paint into your filler mix, and then it looks more like earth. So if you get any chips, it isn't garishly white. But yeah, hills and scenery really do make for a great, interesting scene. Really bring some life to a model railway. Flymo Chairman 1 says Ian Ryan hasn't been in for a bit either. Or I Like Transport. I haven't seen I Like Transport for a little while. Used to be a stalwart of the chat room. So I Like Transport. If you're watching this, we've missed you. Where are you? How you doing? Also, Angus's trains. I think that because the time difference has changed.
He is young. He's probably got school.
Yes, definitely. So there's a few regulars I haven't seen in a while. Ben Tullett says it was a Ruston 48 DS. Is that what Kelly recommended? Did she not realise it was a diesel?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll have to have a lie down from the shock.
Yeah, very much. McBenman 1. Hi Jenny, I'm thinking... Oh, sorry, I've read that one. Norman Rowe, the T-Rex. It does actually... sound like that.
I think it was used by Spielberg in Jurassic Park, you know.
Possibly. Tim Condrip says, "What is your favourite colour?" Mine is blue. Blue is good, but my favourite colour is actually green. What's
You're
your
all
favourite
wrong.
colour?
Purple.
Purple. No, fair enough.
It's just one of those things.
I don't know. Paul Higgins says Sam's Trains El Cheapo was pants, I'm afraid. Not sure what you're talking about, to be honest.
What's an El Cheapo?
I presume we got a dirt cheap loco or something and tried running it. Ben Tullett says, "I'm going to try using Woodland Scenic Shaper Sheet. It looks straightforward to use." Yes, I have used that as well. That is actually also great.
Quick question, Jen. Do you still have the magnets on that locomotive you put the magnets on?
No, it's not on the locomotive. The magnets are actually here.
Oh, that's a shame.
Stuck to a piece.
It would have been fun if you just randomly stuck it to the shelf behind you.
Lee Holden says, "Hi Jenny, just picked up another one of loco-powered Fine Detail Princess from eBay for less than £50. Love it when new models come out with people upgrading. Brilliant." Simon's Trains MRS PDA J-Cloth. Is there a video on YouTube? Just wondering. Some of the progress on the loft layout does show it. So
loads of them.
McBenman 1 says, "Thank you Jenny, it's an outside layout, will it still work?" Is that an outside layer? Right. No. Outdoors, I just use cement, concrete, that kind of thing for building up scenery. Flymo Chairman 1 says they've all been off somewhere else. I don't know where. I Like Transport. Oh, hello. I'm here. I did say hello, but had to go. Oh, brilliant. Good to see you back. O'Neill as well. Hi to you. Hello again, Jenny and Zoe. I hope you're both well. I'm enjoying watching tonight. I missed last week. No worries. It's
a few people missed last week. The YouTube decided to be a bit funny with it, didn't it?
It did actually. Flymo Chairman 1 says, "I'm sure I saw a 9F in the Hornby newsletter today. Mail client is just shut down just now. Might have been on other links." I think Rails of Sheffield have the crusty boilered one on offer. A Max says, "While I normally use my local model shop, has anyone purchased the Hornby Tornado set from Argos? £120 seems like good value." And sometimes Argos can actually be a good source for some of these sets. Big hello to Swindon69. James Petts, "You have an excellent taste in favourite colours. Green is a very restful colour." Yeah, it's a very natural colour. Green and blue are great colours. You know,
Fun fact here.
Yes, Sheldon?
The human brain filters out green, which means that if you write a letter in green ink, the person reading it will have slightly more trouble reading it than if it was in any other colour.
Why are we filtering out the green? I can see the green perfectly well.
Because we tended to filter out green in the jungle environment we evolved in order to be able to see the things hiding inside the green, like the tigers.
What are you looking for?
I'm just quickly checking on here that YouTube hasn't decided to mess about with today's stream. So please continue.
And do what with it?
Well, you know, last week they said it wasn't suitable for advertisers and therefore wasn't telling people that it was going on. So I'm just having a quick look. Nope, it seems fine at the moment.
Right.
So we'll see how that changes as we go on.
Yeah, we'll see at what point it messes up.
What point it realises we're talking about it and it didn't like that.
Right. James, read that one. Peter Leyland, do you have the same room for the contents as you do the box, so double space needed? The contents tend to take up less space than the boxes. The boxes take up a lot of space. Ben Davis says, hi Jennifer Kirk, want hot upcoming new releases. What are we talking about today? Well, we've already talked about some of them. Basically, we've got the 3-plank wagon in the London and South Western Railway livery. The consensus is it should be in a red oxide livery. So that may be a boo-boo from Hornby. Then we've also got...
a bauble?
No, a boo-boo. And we've also got the Great Western wagon. Again, the potential boo-boo on this is it's got a wooden chassis, but the Great Western had done away with wooden chassis on their revenue-earning wagons by the era that this wagon would have existed. There's also debate on whether it would have actually been that colour. So, two potentially struggling on that. And then we've got the CCT in the RTC livery. I really do like this one. When I saw it announced, I thought I've got to have that.
There's so a very eye-catching colour.
RTC livery coaches coming out. It used to be the case you had to wait for Model Zone to commission them. But actually, they're hitting the main range a lot now, and certainly within the next week to 10 days, we're looking at, the Hornby Laboratory 10 and the Landor Brake coach. Plus the weed killing train coaches as well are imminent. The 00 Dinkies, everybody's calling them that, even though they have to call them 00 Diecast because Mattel they managed to buy the rights to the name Dinky Toy. And then we've also got the Princess Royal. In fact, give me the roving cam and I will do a close-up on all
roving cam.
These are the hot new releases.
Roving cam active. Kind of. There you are.
So, what we've got is, and if we look in there, you can see the flickering firebox effect going for it. So, there is the Princess Royal class as Princess Mary Louise.
It's a big one, isn't it?
Yeah, very similar to a Princess Coronation. They do share a lot between them. There is the RTC CCT. Gosh, there's a lot of letters there. The Great Western and the London and South Western Railway opens. And I know some people were mentioning the pannier from Batman. So there's a previous release as L90, but it kind of gives you an idea of the livery of what you're getting. And it's not a Hornby item, but I do actually have the Batman Class 40 on order. In fact, whilst I've got this out, I just want to share with you as well, look out for Friday's video. I've yet to film it, but I have been busy with the
Are you spoiling the videos?
Yeah, War World Scenics Precision Applicator, and as you can see here, the grassed area looks a little bit more like grass and a little bit less like dyed sawdust. And certainly as well over here, been very, very busy in this area as well. So all of this down here, done that with the Static Grass Precision Applicator. And you'll see a grounded wagon that's being enveloped by bushes as well. So there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about actually when it comes to the Friday update video. But essentially what you're seeing there is the hot new releases, the Princess Royal, the CCT, and the 2-3 cranks, and also
So keep an eye out for it.
Get out, and also that stone wagon as well.
Oh.
Right, let us go to a different camera angle.
So we should all
Right.
definitely keep an eye out.
Right, Scottish Train Spotter says, do you have the Helgens 1361? I've got the 1366, but not the 1361. Matty Matman says, I'm here most weeks. Paul Bottrell says, hi Jenny, how do you keep your track so clean and shiny?
She rubs it with a track cleaner.
Just use, really, more than anything. But I use a Pico track cleaning rubber. Flymo Chairman 1, I saw wire that had been stored over the roof of my Deltic leave a scar in the plastic. The off-gas from the cable did it. Interesting. You've got to be ever so careful. Plastics are a little bit volatile at times. Ben Tullett says, I think Kelly was prompted. What made things worse was someone suggested running a GWR tender locomotive with the wrong tender. Yeah, I can imagine that that would certainly great for a lot of people, myself included. Russell Benton says, have a look at Chadwick Model Railway. Charlie's been making scenery. Charlie is always very, very busy. I met him actually at Worley. Great bloke. Peter Leyland, answering somebody else. Stephen Cameron says, is your EM1 brackets past 76 on the layout at the moment, Jenny? No, it's in a drawer, I have to say. I was looking at it the other day. I nearly got it out, but I got that 37 out instead. Swindon 69, all the bonkers people used to write to my organisation in green ink. George Botterini says, yellow on white, almost invisible to eye. Yeah, I remember a lot of websites back in the day used to try that.
Yeah, because they were weird.
Yeah, John Nutman says, I missed last week too. Yeah, we were right down on views. I think we've had about 1,000 less views than normal.
YouTube really didn't like us last week. I've got a question here. McBenman1 says, hi Jenny, can you do a live stream at the garden layout? We are actually planning to do a live stream from the garden layout, aren't we?
At some point over the summer, definitely.
But the problem is that it's been pouring down with rain, so it just wouldn't work. But we will do it.
Ronald Moritz says El Cheapo is a new silly character Sam's introduced to his live streams when looking at cheap products.
All right.
Does it go?
That makes more sense now.
Does the character have a sombrero and a poncho and talk like some kind of Mexican bandito? Yeah. Where are we going? We need no stinking plot. Tim Condrip says, are you or Zoe colourblind? Well, I'm certainly not. I don't think you are either.
I'm not. I do have damaged eyesight, but I'm not colourblind.
Elvenholme M-Gauge Model Railway says, the internal auditors used to write in green when I started work and are more challenging correspondence. Flymo Chairman 1R, Charlie's got a good channel. Definitely, yeah. Ben Tullett says, remember you can't advertise unhealthy foods until after 9, so alcohol and crumble is a no-go. I must admit...
They're not unhealthy.
I'm actually so run down through overwork at the moment, I'm sticking to Diet Coke.
The one I was laughing at is Naive Gauge says, amongst the clergy, green ink letter is shorthand for a letter from a crazy obsessed cassock chaser. I don't want to know what a cassock chaser is. Now I've got yakety sax going around my head and it's the vicar being chased by a bunch of villagers.
Yeah. Andy 1962, I do like the CCT, must try and get one. Nice livery, definitely. If you've got any other RTC liveried stock, then it is a must. In fact, I'm pretty much at the point where I can field an entire RTC liveried train. Apart from the locomotive, I never got either the engine, Experiment, or Ixiom with the 3 that Model Zone did in RTC livery.
Jen,
yes?
I have to stop you to point this out and say, I want one.
What is it?
It's an Art Deco television.
It's a hipster zone. No, you can't have one. Right, David Scott says there were some strange tender combinations during the Loco exchange trials, especially on the Southern, as they had no water troughs. And I think as well that the actual scoops would foul track work if the track work was not intended for them. Peter Leyland, it's getting so bad now, Ben, we can't live. We break 10 laws before we reach the drive front gate. Ben Davis, hi Jennifer, did you hear Metcalf are coming back in stock? Hatton said they're going to be available from Tuesday the 28th of July 2020 onwards. Metcalf have been back in production for a bit. However, their website keeps getting overwhelmed. There's so much pent-up demand. But again, it goes back to what we were saying earlier on about some of the smaller model shops do still have stocks of Metcalf building packs. So if you hunt around, you should be able to find what you want. Ham Shackleton, I keep hoping that someone will make a support coach as used on mainline Steam with the big shutter doors on the sides. Not that version, but the National Railway Museum BSK was done as a special commission from Bachmann quite a while ago. Jane94 says, I'm loving the Princess Royal, Jenny. Thank you very much. Stay tuned for Wednesday's video because we're going to be doing a complete review of that. Ben Tullett says, actually, some of the preserved GWR locomotives on the Severn Valley Railway had the incorrect tenders until they were swapped. Also bear in mind that tenders were swapped between locomotives. So generally speaking, a locomotive would run through several tenders over its life. Flymo Chairman 1, I keep an eye on Curiosity Inc.'s channel to see what sells. You'd be surprised. J94, I'm also loving the London Transport GWR 57XX2. They are nice.
Oh, George Botterini says, I agree in the Rocket. Just got mine out of the box. It won't run because the wire between the locomotive and the tender is broken.
It's an area that I did criticise it on. I don't know why the tender drawbar is it's a retrograde step. It's not fastened. It needs to be fastened on both ends to take the strain off those wires.
Yeah.
It's too easy to strain those wires.
Absolutely.
James Petts, absolutely right. Grass is better when it looks like grass rather than dried sawdust. Very much. Creeping Jane, hi to you. Jeff Hammond, Flint Hills Engage, hoping to get the War World Scenics applicator on Friday for my birthday. You will not be disappointed. Leslie Dickinson says, love the BR Express blue livery. Definitely. Let's have a look. Yeah, I love the Duchesses and the Princess Royals as well, J94. Rob Arnold, the Princess is nice, just got Princess Elizabeth. I must admit, it was a toss-up between that and some of the other ones. They are nice, but I really wanted the experimental blue. SJ Carter, ordered myself a Farish C-Class in Southern Black from Rails on Thursday, just waiting for it to be dispatched. I can't wait, really looking forward to it. I can't wait to get my Class 40 as well. I like transport. How is everyone? I'm pretty good, thanks. Actually, the cupboard monkey is being her usual nuisance, so yeah, pretty good. John Nutman,
what
Jenny,
I
see you're running the Class 50. How do you put the coupling on it whilst all the bits and pieces are on there? It's quite simple. I took a lot of the bits and pieces off the buffer beam. Andy 1962, Charlie Bishop is such a nice bloke, very much actually, yeah. Met him, had a good long chat with him at Worley, top bloke. Leslie Dickinson says, having a great evening. Oh, brilliant, brilliant. James Moody, you know why it didn't like last week's show, don't you? Someone mentioned a certain political YouTuber.
There might be it's unlikely that it was that.
It's probably more likely it saw my bottle of beer.
Yeah.
Naive Gauge. Sorry, you've read that one out. Flymo Chairman 1 said apparently there was a big reboot by YouTube at the weekend, so I heard. I noticed actually.
You mean someone kicked the server and it fell over?
Yeah, literally. It just went. I know that I have actually got rid of a lot of fake accounts, so I noticed that my subscriber count dropped a little bit. Well, I still kept gaining subscribers, but at a much decreased rate. And I know a few other people had said that actually they'd gone negative, actually their subscriber count had actually dropped. It does happen from time to time. Ben Davis, hi Jennifer, I'm hoping to get Hornby R3848 class A1X Terrier 060 13 Carisbrook in Southern Railway malachite green with British Railways lettering, and I hope to get the London and South Western Railway 3-plank wagon. And yeah, that's this wagon here. I'm actually quite happy with it, even though a lot of people have said online that it should be in red oxide rather than the brown. But yeah, I'm just quite grateful that we're getting some pre-grouping wagons. But the Terriers are wonderful. I've got both the Hornby one and the Rails of Sheffield one. And actually, again, another big thank you to Tim's Trains. Sent over sent a couple of locos over, a B2 and one of the Hornby Terriers in the Kent and East Sussex Railway livery. So again, big thank you for that. Stephen Cameron says Crumble is one of your 5 a day, as -2. George Botterini, I agree on Rocket, just got mine out. Box won't run. Oh, right, we just read that. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if you're eating 5 desserts a day, then that's not a good thing. Crumble, one of them, yeah, but you shouldn't be having 5 desserts a day.
Logan Clary, there is something to do with model railways on BBC 4. I'll watch it after the live stream. Oh, brilliant, thank you. I wasn't aware of that, actually. I know of a TV series that may be in production, but not that one. Brian Harper, planning a layout based the railway on the Wirral, so could do LMS, LNER and Great Western Railway. Have planned for Hadley Road, GWR. Need photos of the rest if possible. There are some good books out there. Some of the then and now books are quite useful. Simon Trains MRS, good example was GWR Manor Class 7802 Bradley Manor. Instead of having a 3,500 gallon tender, had a 4,000 gallon tender at one point from mainline running, but gone back to the original tender. Rob Arnold, don't forget my tip for holding that rocket tender on. Yeah, you did mention it. It's one that I do need to investigate. Crossways Point Junction says, I think it's time for a glass of red. Ooh, actually, that does sound good.
Red what? Paint?
No, red wine, I think.
That's probably better for you than red paint.
James Pett says, surely 5 puddings a day is a happy day. Actually, it is. Ben Tullett, I might pre-order one of the new batch Rails of Sheffield Terriers coming out soon. I'm told they should be out by the end of the month. We're very nearly at the end of the month, so I will have to take a look, actually, and see where they're up to on that. Mike and Sue Pudham Junction, glass of white here, and coffee for the hubby. Oh, excellent. John Nutman, Jenny, have you heard the Mid-Hants Rail against
Madame?
West Somerset Loco 53808 for time? No, I haven't actually, but I'm actually all caught up on the comments from
My
Jamie.
goodness. Well, we are coming up on 20 to 9.
Are we going to have some of
We
the...
have,
do we have videos?
we only have 2 videos, one of which is actually regarding a question that came up earlier on about using Spy Pen video cameras on N-gauge layouts. So that should be very interesting. But yeah.
Also, we should mention, has anybody actually bought the books?
Nope.
In association with today's sponsor, All Mouse Media, we do have a special offer on for £25 for all 3 of these comic books. There's a link in the description box.
There is, and
we will especially sign them, and
the Cupboard Monkey will draw an artist sketch in each of them.
so you'll get a genuine original artist sketch from the artist that draws these comics. So they're available on that link, £25 post free. So if you would like to take advantage of that offer as it's running during the live stream in association with the live stream sponsor this week, All Mouse Media, they are there. And also don't forget as well that if you haven't already done so and you really fancy some science fiction goodness, you can also pick up a pair of my books. They're on offer at the moment, and we will sign them before they get sent out. So we've gone to a lot of pulling knobs and pushing buttons, and we've managed to get the publisher to send through. I think we've got about 15 of each of the books, so up to 15 people can take advantage of that offer.
Yeah, Jen's making out like we had a big hassle to get these books. What she actually means by getting the publisher to send them is she sent me to the warehouse to find them.
Rob K says, hi Jenny, there is a Dutch website 12Z Model Shop, who still have a lot of Metcalf in stock, easy to order from the UK. Definitely, and I think as well, Tim at Arcadia Models in Shaw, certainly whenever I've been in there, admittedly I've not been there since before lockdown, he always has boxes and boxes of the Metcalf card kit, so it may be worth giving him a call to see what he's still got in stock. Right.
Aye aye. Aye aye. Keeping an eye on you.
Flag. I've been on the go for basically over 7 days straight, so
It's ridiculous how much work you've been doing.
loads of projects. There's so much going on, and I tend not to say no to people when they come to me with projects.
That's what the guidebooks say.
So I'm doing some stuff for Hornby, I'm doing some stuff for TV company, I'm doing stuff for ourselves. You alright?
No,
Something twinge?
I've had a few accidents over the last few days, so if anyone's heard me saying ow and complaining and kind of whining through this, it's because I've severely bruised one of my toes and it keeps sending shocks down my leg whenever I try to move my foot.
Oh, that sounds like you've got a trapped nerve, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, it's not nice.
So I'm just going to check out if I've missed anybody on the paypal.me link.
And while you're doing that, I am going to switch this around on the angles.
Can I just say a huge thank you to Simon Poole for donating £10 on the paypal.me. That is extremely generous of you, and we're going to be... and actually, I haven't decided... I know that a lot of people talk about 9F and also an 8F, so maybe we'll look into getting one or other of those for review on the channel. But certainly donations are very appreciated. Don't feel obliged to, but certainly when people do, it is a great way of supporting channels, not just my channel but other channels as well, to be able to them to keep doing the great content that you want to see. Also, we're on Patreon as well. I know there's some people in some quarters have been poo-pooing Patreon and being really quite derogatory, but actually at the end of the day,
it's like a tip jar.
well, it's not just that, it's like, why shouldn't people make money from doing their hobby? I mean, pro golfers do. Tiger Woods makes a lot of money from that. Footballers as well. It's like saying, Wayne Rooney, and there's going to be people who support other teams going, yeah, you shouldn't pay him a penny. Blooming Shrek. But no, seriously, like...
Don't make me laugh while I'm drinking, I'll choke.
It's like, at the end of the day, some people are going to make a living. So Patreon is a great way, and at the end of the day, nobody's holding a gun to you going, you must give the money on Patreon.
You know, all the trolls are going to now show that clip.
Yeah, taken
out of context. Yeah.
But anyway, a big thank you to generous people. Flymo Chairman 1 says, can you put up the offer link, please, Zoe? The offer.
Yes, once I've finished sorting out for this.
And apparently Skipsy Trains has just emailed.
He has?
Yeah. Creeping Jane says, Nick, it may be greenish, but it requires a lot of electricity to make hydrogen. Losses are reckoned to be up to 60% efficiency, so batteries and life-cycle power are the way forward, definitely. Yeah, Richard Swiderski says, poor Zoe, get better soon. I've got a trapped nerve in shoulder pain. But trapped nerves is some of the worst because you just can't get comfortable.
There's not much you can do. I mean, what do you?
Yeah.
I was just thinking of pulling the nerve out, and that would be a bad idea.
Rob Arnold, absolutely. You're welcome. I had a broken wire on my model, but was able to fix it myself. Not an easy task because they're very fine wires on that Stephenson's rocket. Nick Neumann says, well, I still reckon a nuclear-powered loco would be more efficient.
You don't want a nuclear-powered locomotive.
Do you have any idea how big a nuclear power plant needs to be actually be efficient?
Well, there are two issues there. One, you're either going to be using a fission-powered thing, in which case you've got to have a huge amount of radiation shielding, or two, you're going to have a fusion-powered one, in which case you need a massive tank for the hydrogen.
Crossways Point Junction asks, how do we donate, Jenny? How do people donate? Are the links in the description box?
Yeah.
There are links in the description box, either paypal.me, which doesn't lose anything out to Google, or you can go on the super chat button, but Google does take its cut. Or you can head on over to Patreon and support the channel that way if you want to give a fixed amount every month. So there are various different ways of doing it, but always really
there
grateful.
is the link for the comic book offer.
The comic book offer has gone up, and that is another way that you can support the channel as well, is by buying our books, because we get our 12.5% from all of that, and you get yourself some great books. Also really good for giving as gifts to anybody. If you know somebody's birthday's coming up.
And I get some space in the warehouse.
Yes, we do. Kingspan Cutting, thanks Jenny and Zoe, great stream as usual, gotta go, bye, but see you next week.
Thank you for coming along.
It's
Have
been
a good
great
night.
to have your company. We've got another 15 minutes or so to go. We've got the first of the videos
We have queued up, and I was thinking of bringing that up.
Yeah, Leslie Dickinson, absolutely right. Why shouldn't you make a few bob off Patreon? It's a time-intensive thing making video content for here. And
Tell me about it.
Yeah, that is the end of it. And I think, the people who are poo-pooing Patreon clearly are just jealous because...
Or really don't know what they're
Or just
talking
don't
about.
understand it. At the end of the day, it's like, it's like, how dare you make money out of something you enjoy?
Let's just talk about... some people ask every now and again how long it takes to make a video. Well, let's take one of the easiest to put together ones, a box opening and review. The way we do it, we film you opening the box and examining the locomotive and reviewing every part of it.
And there will be outtakes as well.
Yeah, that takes about
bits need to be
30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Of just for the filming all of the footage.
Just for something like a 20 or 25 minute video.
Then you go off and you film what we call the B-roll footage, which is
the
running the train
shots.
and getting all of the other shots.
And also
like that.
when you see them spinning on the turntable as well, stuff like that. And it isn't just a case of, there's like 30 seconds of footage, so that must only take you 30 seconds.
No, you run for about half an hour, because that's how we get the review of how well it runs.
And not just that as well, you've got to get in position, wait for the train to come round, remount things, pose for photos. Then we've got to film the DCC fitting bit as well, and then you also get what you call the beauty shots, where you get the close-ups.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work, and then on top of that, once you've got all that raw footage...
Which is, by this point, we're already at about 2 hours.
Yeah. And then it's got to be edited. And for, let's say, a 20-minute video, you could be looking at, 2 or 3 hours to edit that together?
The thing is, for every minute that's in a finished product video, you have at least 10 to 20 minutes of editing.
Yeah.
That's a good rule of thumb. So, for one of Jen's videos, it can be 3 or 4 hours that I'm at it.
Very much.
Now we're up to 6 hours. That's almost an entire day.
And then, two of us working at that. And we're chucking out 2 videos plus a live stream every week, plus extras. Some videos take a lot. So, for example, when we went down to Cambridge to that 5-inch gauge railway, that was a very long day. And
that was just getting the filming, travelling there and back.
And you think, it's like 60 quid's worth of petrol for the round trip. Just for the travel. There was an entire day to do that, to get that video for you guys. And don't get me wrong, it was great fun being there, but there's a lot of work involved.
Yeah, I don't think either of us would say that we didn't like doing it, because I enjoy editing. I'm a filmmaker. I love the filmmaking process. Jen loves her trains. She loves the process of making the video. So we're not going to say that we don't want to do it, but what I'm trying to say is all of those people who are saying that, it's just money for nothing with Patreon, they genuinely don't understand the time and effort that has to go into this stuff.
Apparently, hi Jenny, back after many weeks. This is Andrew Goldberg. You moved the mic. Now move it closer to you so the cupboard monkey is a bit quieter and you're a bit louder, then it'll be really good. That's actually a good point, actually.
I wish we could. The reason that it's there is because we couldn't stick it on that end to get it next to you, because then it got in the way of everything.
It did, rather. So basically, you just need to talk quietly.
Alright, well, I'll try that.
Yeah, that's right. You keep it quiet.
Yeah, the other problem with that is I'm deaf. I don't know that I'm talking too loud.
Yeah.
So just tell me and I'll talk lower.
James Pett says, gosh, videos take ages to make. I spent a whole day a few weeks ago making an 8-minute video. Very much.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's a lot of work. Leslie Gilpin says, do you do separate voiceovers? Occasionally we do as well.
That's where the lapel mic comes in.
Yeah.
Jen records a separate feed from the lapel mic using her phone.
DSG Boy 64 asks, what is the best angle train? So a train can go up it. I'm assuming a gradient. 4% is generally considered the steepest that you really want. You can go steeper than that, but you will find a lot of slippage and very limited on the length of trains that can go up there. I have 4% grades here on Trinity Road.
And some
Trinity Road? No, Weir Yard.
Some of your trains actually do struggle with that, don't they?
Yeah, the Stephenson's Rocket can't actually get up on its own, some of the grades.
Then again, we did mention during the review that it really was like a presentation thing more than an actual running
says,
thing.
ooh, outtakes, need to watch these. Zoe, make this happen. We do very occasionally put out outtakes.
If we put them out all the time, it wouldn't be funny anymore.
Yeah.
But there is a great one on your Facebook page. You trying to do the ending while I'm pulling faces at you.
I just kept bursting out laughing. Yeah, and it was just such this incredible corpsing all the way through that we put it out as an extra because it was just so funny. But that's the thing. We try to get as few outtakes as possible, and sometimes outtakes are boring, quite frankly.
A lot of the time it'll just be stumbling over a word and having to redo a little bit of the video.
Yeah, so they're not interesting to watch.
But when they're good, and we put them out. So I'm going to say we should move on to our first video.
Yeah,
now.
no
So
worries.
Here we are.
No
this one
worries.
is Tim Condrup sent this in earlier this week. His Bachman and Hornby Thomas and Friends collation. So we're going to have a quick look at this. Whoa.
That's Spencer from the Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. Certainly not one that I consider canon because
You stopped at one point, didn't you?
with tramway engines. That's either Donald or Douglas. That actually looks like the Bachman one. And that one is... And see, this is like well past my time. They brought out
the long blue one you should know.
That one I think is Bear. I'm sure Bear was
I was wondering where the faces on those ones were, but they're smaller, aren't they?
Yeah, that's Duck and Oliver behind there. But certainly, the Thomas the Tank Engine stuff, it's a great way to get into the hobby. It's
definitely got personality to it.
Yeah, and actually some of them, we were talking about rarity of models. I think that Spencer is actually quite a valuable model.
They are Mr. Topham Hatt, the Fat Controller. A pink one.
Diesel. The pink one. I have no idea about that. A lot of these are from after my time. I recognise James. There's Mavis, Stepney at the back.
I'm wondering if any of these are going to be from the new series that everyone was so controversial.
I think the pink ones may well be.
Because I loved the Indian themed train. I thought that had a lot of personality to it.
Of course, there's Thomas. And the Llanfaith Pwthgwyn Llandau wagon. That was completely wrong. That's Edward there. But the Welsh place name on I think it's Hornby OAA wagon.
Very nice.
I think that one there is definitely from the
What's
new
that in the
series.
background? Is that a big top?
Yeah, it looks like a circus.
That's nice. Oh, even
There's
more.
a lot of... that's Emily, I think. Is that Emily?
There's what we were talking about earlier. Storage works out quite well.
Yeah. I think you'll find those brake vans as well are quite rare. The one you're pointing at there, they're quite rare.
My goodness.
So that's the official one. There's a lot of rolling stock in there. And then these drawers are actually a great idea. I love the way that you can just store a lot of stuff neatly in there. So that is really nice. A Scottish train spotter says, "What a nice Thomas collection, very much."
It's
one
bright, it's got a bit of
hardcore
personality.
MOH says Pink Rose, the first one. I'll take your word for it. Rosie. McBenman one says the red tank engine is Rosie.
Right. Well, let's move back on because we've got a few others to go through. So I'm bringing back up you on the screen.
Yeah, Andy 1962, you and me both. Some of those Thomas trains are new to me. I'm obviously too old school. I must admit, for me, Thomas the Tank Engine ends at Tramway Engines because that was the last book when I was a small child. And I haven't even read the Christopher Audrey ones when his son took over. So I must say I'm well behind the times on Thomas the Tank Engine.
Okay, next one is Steve Humphries. This is the spy cam that was used for an N-gauge layout. So we're going to have a look at the quality of what he can get, which is very nice. And apparently, according to what he sent me, there is a fitting guide on his channel. So that's nice.
So that's on Elvenholme N-gauge model railway.
Yes, I will put a link to all of the videos.
Doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, I was thinking that looked pretty damn good. Yeah.
I mean, there's a little bit of an issue with the light level.
But that's true of any onboard camera. The smaller you get, the more susceptible they're going to be for, like, when it's still. That is an exceptional video, so let's jump on and see. Oh, when it's moving, that's good as well.
I suspect that with a lot of these cameras, light is the key. The more light that you can get, the better. But that's not actually doing too bad, it must be said. And
in a low light condition, that's not too bad at all.
Yeah, but you probably get a much better picture quality that if you can get more light.
But look at how it's adjusting. It's adjusting very quickly, which is a good thing. That's what you want on a model railway
There's
camera.
a little bit of a judder, but actually, all things considered, that is pretty good. So that's on N-gauge, is it?
Yeah.
So I'm actually very impressed with this. If you're able to post the details of what the camera is, I think there's a lot of people will be really interested.
Yeah. If you could post the link to... I'll try and find his video and I'll post the link to the one where he explains how he set this up.
It's quite a tunnel.
Yeah.
But so
there you go, adjusting straight away to the difference in light.
Yeah.
That's what you want from this kind of thing.
And that is actually definitely a really great camera for
I am
N-gauge.
impressed. Seriously impressed.
Yeah. I am actually very
It's a nice layout too.
Yeah. So that really liking that.
I'll post links to all of these.
Nice hillside. I think with if you can get really bright lights in, you'll find some of this where it seems to get lighter, darker, lighter, darker. A lot of that will be alleviated.
Let's see what happens when we go past this light source here.
That bridge is nice.
Yeah, look at the difference when it comes up to the light.
Oh, I like your little red light on the buffer.
Yeah, that is impressive.
That was good.
That is
I'm
very
very
impressive.
impressed with that, actually.
Okay, I'm bringing it back up to the tube. There you go. Right, so I'll grab that. This is the one we've just seen. I'm trying to bring that up.
Belmont Junction says, okay, I have to go now. Night, Jenny and Zoe and everyone else.
That's the link to the video
so
we've just seen.
You take care. So
And,
the link to that video has just gone into the...
and I'm trying to find the previous one as well now with the Thomas.
Keep Calm and Make Stuff says, does anyone remember the 7-inch single with Johnny Morris reading Thomas? I'll be honest with you, the only read out loud stuff is I remember... is it Willie Rushton? I remember Willie Rushton reading audiobooks of the Thomas the Tank Engine books. And that must be late 70s, early 80s. And then the TV series was guy from the Beatles, Ringo Starr narrated that.
And that is the previous video that we watched because I forgot to link that.
Radio. Do we have any more videos?
So for that, we do. But for that one, let's have a look. Episode 27 on Steve Humphrey's Naive Gauge channel is the one where he talks about where he got the camera and how he mounted it on a converted Pico grain wagon.
Right.
So that'll be very interesting for people. So, and now we've got 2 more. It's Paul Tilbrook bringing up, what is this one?
007 Spike Dog says these Monday night live streams are the highlight of my week. Thank you.
Oh,
You're
thank
absolutely
you.
welcome. Thank you very much.
We've
we're
got
just-
Skipsy Trains here. Look at that. GPO Film Unit presents.
That is great.
So, just bringing that up on screen now. What have we got here? Skipsy
No,
Night Mail.
I always feel honoured that you guys choose to hang out on your Monday evening with me.
Oh, I love this. This
got
is
the vibe
brilliant.
really well.
Oh,
You can
I'm
imagine
loving
the
it.
music, like a full orchestra.
Yeah. Why is the mouse still on screen? That's annoying. Yeah. Basil Wright and Harry Watt. This is so well done. With workers of the travelling post office.
Also, just like to say a big thank you to George Botterini, who's donated £5
Oh,
through the
thank you so much.
PayPal.me link. So a huge thank you to
Thank you
George.
very much.
That is very generous of you.
Skipsy Trains, can I just say, as a filmmaker, I am loving this.
And you can imagine as well, you have some very posh sounding guy going, "Hey, yes, jolly good show, and the night mail is away with the boys of the GPO, and they are going to be rushing the mail to Scotland."
You would have to slightly muffle your voice, though, because of the
Yeah.
way that it was all done. Oh,
Lashings of tea for everybody, for the Empire runs on tea.
and ginger ale,
Yes.
because the famous 5 might turn up.
Passing
the
through
Secret Seven.
Chelmsford, the train picks up speed and keeps going. All the while, the staff on board are sorting through the post to make sure that it's all ready to be delivered first thing in the morning by your jolly spiffing postman. What?
It's got a nice feel to it, hasn't it?
I loved the intro. You
Yeah.
really nailed that intro as well. Oh,
Oh my goodness, old stock footage? Wow.
with the latest in modern technology.
Hopefully we're not going to get a copyright strike for this stock footage.
It's royalty free these days.
Yeah.
But certainly, really enjoying this. And it just shows the kind of inventiveness that you can get into layouts. It's a really great
Yeah.
layout as well.
It's very nice. I like. It looks like it's on separate levels, which is nice. I always like things that remember that the world is not flat. So it's actually, I'm very impressed.
Paul Higgins says, "You're the best, Jenny and Zoe." Oh, thank you.
We try very hard because we want to make people happy, don't we?
Skipsy Train says this video does have the soundtrack and poem under it, but I suspect we've got to be careful because that would be the Night Mail by.
Oh yeah, that poem. It's so well done.
Faster than bridges, faster than
And the way it speeds up as it goes through, it's excellent.
I know the one you mean. It is very evocative. Ben Tollett says, "Exciting news! Just unpacked the double O dinkies. They look lovely, especially the VW van. That is the one that I really do want. That VW van." Flymo Chairman 1. This is the Night Mail crossing the border, bringing the check and the postal order. I hear WH Orden. That's the one.
Yeah. Wow,
The
there you are.
Benjamin Britten music in the background, apparently. Tim Condrup says, "Yes, thank you for showing it. You are absolutely welcome. Thank you for letting us show it. This is really great."
I like some of the stuff in the background. That
And the
container
production
terminal thing.
values, values are really great.
And Jen always laughs when I talk about how I edit her running videos, and I'm always on about this. We have to show the tread telling the story rather than just a few things cut here. You have to see the story of the train going round.
Yeah, you're big on your story.
And that's what he's doing here. That's great.
Finley Carden says, "You two really make my evening great. I had a bad day today. You make it so much better." Oh, well, thank you very much. I'm sorry you had a bad day, but we are here to make it all right. And of course,
that's the plan.
That's the last video. I'm just looking at
It's
the
not the
time.
last video. We've got one more.
Apparently, we've got one more. Okay, we're going to quickly do that.
I'm going to try and get.
because we're past 9 o'clock.
I know, past your bedtime, babe.
I know. And we still got 223 in the chat, but I know a lot of people are having to drift away because
grab
obviously it's a school night.
The URL for it. Oh, come on, don't give me the circle of death.
So, what are
Trying my best here, but
we might have to save I'm looking at the time. We're going to have to save the last one for next week, I think.
Okay, if that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do.
So what we're going to do, we'll save the last one for next week. But look, a really big thank you to all of you. Thank you very much. Those
Logan,
who
Clary, I'm sorry we didn't have time, but we will get you on the show next time.
We will put that out next week, if that's all right. Just I'm noticing that the time is...
and I know, you are exhausted as well.
A big thank you to everybody who donated through the paypal.me link. That is incredibly generous of you. And also the super chat link. And also a big thank you to all the Patreons. And of course,
thank you very
much. The entire stream this week has been sponsored by All Mouse Media. And you can still pick up the triple set, 25 quid for the 3 personally autographed, and a special sketch by the artist will go into these. If you're interested in these, we've got a link down below, and also available again through the publisher All Mouse Media. We've got the sci-fi books.
So we'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, the evil eye. But look,
it's not evil.
You guys take great care, and hopefully we'll see you all next week. Don't forget to like this video, share it too, and if you're not already done so, do subscribe to the channel, and you'll be the first to know about new videos as and when they go up. Stay tuned for Wednesday's video. That will be a full-on box opening review and DCC fitting guide of the all-new Hornby Princess Royal class. And then on Friday, we've got an update on Weiryard, update on the loft layout. What have I been up to? Well, principally it's going to be focusing in on work involving that Warworld scenic precision static grass application.
But you've been having so much... You would put precision applied static grass on a toaster if I let you.
But certainly I'm going to be showing you how to get the best out of that, as well as showing you the progress on Weiryard. And I know I always say that the layout is complete, I'm bored, I need something else to do. But there is a model railway is never finished. You can always find more things to do. But without further ado, all you guys take great care of yourself, and until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk, along with the Covered Monkey, saying take great care of yourself. Bye for now.
Bye bye.